Preparing.
Knock on wood.
So we need the former solicitor to come back.
You'll get it. You'll
Get
get
us live
it.
on YouTube.
You'll get a certificate of
I'm
achievement.
just wondering how you grew this straw, Mary Claire.
Apparently, Kev held himself out to be a tech assistant and
Yep.
set the bar high.
It's close. Once it finishes loading, it'll be good.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Virginia can't get sick
It says one watching start the stream.
assistant. and
There we go.
Okay.
Set the bar high.
So we might actually need to mute. It's close. Once it finishes loading.
Rome wasn't-
God. I don't know what's gonna cause all that trouble.
Then the black window there. And then we'll just mute that right there. There we go. Now we should be fine.
Can you hear us okay, Harry?
Yes, I can.
Good. Alrighty. Good evening and welcome to the Borough Park Summit Special Meeting, November 30th, 2022, 7 p.m. In attendance, we have Ms. Lopez. Present. Ms. Simrel. Present. Ms. Keough is absent. Mr. Beston.
Here.
Mr. Mitchell.
Here.
Mayor Kelly.
Here.
Mr. Jenkins.
Here.
Mr. Shields.
Here.
And Solicitor Hayes.
Here.
We stand for a moment of meditation. And then we will also salute the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
Flag, United States of America, for the republic for which it stands,
under
one
God,
nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The agenda is the approval of our agenda. We have a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
We have a second.
I'll second.
Thank you. On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, favors have it. Public comment. We have no one from the public here. Next item on our agenda is the ABPA. We have Katie Link and also Janice Bevilacqua. They're going to address us on the Ice Festival. And also the December the 10th is our hometown shopping day summit. So basically, we have all the information that I delivered to Virginia, and she was going to email it to all the council members. So basically, the only thing we need from you, we're going to be handling everything as a standard ice festival setup. But is there anything in particular for shopping and Park Summit on December 10th? Like to address to the podium, step up to the podium?
Okay, I'll just tell you what we have going on. Is that what you wanna?
Sure.
Yeah, sure, okay. So we are running the Summit Stroll. We've been doing it once a month since May.
Right.
And we typically do artists on the street. ABPA purchased sidewalk sized pop-up tents and we typically do it outside. And this year, obviously for December, it'll be inside. So we'll have a few places, the Gathering Place, Grateful Roast Coffee, Imagine NEPA are offering special events. So at Imagine NEPA, we're doing kind of drop off babysitting so that people can drop their kids off to us, go shop town, come back. We show the kids a movie, a craft, a snack. Gathering Places doing crafts and kids activities, having Santa there. And we created a graphic sort of highlighting the businesses that we have in town, what they offer, sort of showing, here's some ideas if you're shopping for the men in your life, the ladies, the kids, just sort of try to create the shopping categories and encourage people to patronize our downtown businesses. And then for Ice Festival, this year's theme, as Jerry said, we submitted a pretty large packet of information that you hopefully, once Virginia's feeling well and back, you'll be able to peruse that. And if you have any further questions, you can ask us. But the theme this year is around the world. So we are trying to break town into continents. And we'll have different sculptures from all of the different continents. So everything from Leaning Tower of Pisa to Great Wall of China to mariachi bands, things like that. The only thing I think I would bring up maybe is the stage is the only thing that we haven't, this is sort of a new thing. We've never had a stage before for performances, but we were able to get the La Festa Italiana stage. Basically just for the cost that it cost them to get it to us, if we can find a place to put it. So yesterday I scared the police department. I went all around measuring everywhere. They didn't know who I was. They came out and, we do think that we'll be able to put it on Spring Street kind of long ways, and which will also help, I think, drive foot traffic to Davis Street, which sometimes gets left out a little bit.
Sure.
People come State Street, but they don't always make that turn and go down there.
Right.
And Jerry and Chief Yarns and Virginia and I, we've already discussed using the borough parking lot. The police LFG next door to the new gym, they're willing to let the police department park in their lot for that weekend, which would leave the whole paved borough lot open for us to put picnic tables or chairs or however we want to configure that. Just a little bit of a safe place for families. We all know how State Street is traffic wise when you're walking with little kids. So we're trying to have sort of a hub where we'll be able to get families to eat and have food down that way. Something else new that we're trying to add this year is a nonprofit run food tent. So our idea is that we don't have a location for that tent yet, but we're working on it. We would love to be able to potentially have food donated, hot dogs, hot pretzels, hot cocoa, soda, chips, things like that. And then all the different nonprofits who would like to take a part of it in town, Rotary, Lions Club, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, could take shifts running it. And then at the end of the weekend, whatever profit was made could be divided amongst all of those nonprofits, just as a way to have quick take and go food. We have great restaurants in town, but for Ice Festival, I have little kids, like you want a hot dog and a bag of chips and go, like you don't have time to sit down. So we're looking to add that to the agenda, and a vendor's village. So we would like to put a tent over the Pocket Park, which Ryan Fenton, who's on our ABPA board, has some connections for large size tents. We're thinking we can tent the Pocket Park and put some specialty artists, things like that down there to help draw businesses down Depot Street, because those businesses also sometimes don't get the foot traffic that they would like to. So we're trying to strategically place large draw items throughout town that'll bring people to as many businesses as possible. I have pages and pages of stuff I sent you, so you can look at it when you get a chance, but just trying to step it up a little this year.
You're very ambitious on
Yeah,
doing a lot of
thanks.
great
Honest,
things.
yeah.
I love the theme too, it's great.
Yeah, I think it'll be a really fun way to bring in, oh yeah, we're using so for the map, we're gonna do a passport. So like people can collect stamps at different spots. We haven't totally decided the stamps yet, but something to that effect. And we'll have a map in it and all the sponsorship information, which is cute. With the stage, we'll be able to reach out to I've already reached out to a lot of the colleges, like Marywood has a great music program, Keystone, Clark Summit University. We're hoping if we have an actual stage, we can bring in music throughout the whole weekend and maybe incorporate music from different cultures. We've reached out to bagpipers, Irish step dancers, mariachi bands, the University of Scranton they have a multicultural department, and they're very interested in potentially helping hook us up with different people from different backgrounds to represent their cultures. I think it'll be really great for families, kind of fun, cool photo ops, which we're excited about. Am I forgetting anything else? Oh, we're doing the parade contest.
Yes.
So we also are putting out submissions to do like a parade float contest. Last year we had, at least I'm told, more people in the parade than ever before. It was really fun. We had a ton of participation. And this year we're trying to up it a little bit. We're gonna encourage people to do lighted floats. So different nonprofit groups, families, if they want to, and we're gonna put a $250 prize for the best nonprofit float. Businesses and families get bragging rights and a trophy, but we thought $250 prize for any nonprofit who wants to, whichever one's our favorite, I don't know. We'll probably ask some of you to judge.
Right.
But I think, is that everything that's new? I think so. So I don't know if anybody has questions or if anyone wants to help. We meet every other Tuesday. Imagine we would welcome volunteers. Anyone who wants to get
I
involved.
was gonna see maybe some kind of a plaque or something for a family that may have a really nice lit up
Yeah, that's what we were thinking, like little, like a trophy, like a
Sure.
little or world, like a globe shaped trophy
Right,
for
yeah.
the top business and the top family. And then
True,
like a
yes.
cash prize for a nonprofit. That's kind of what we were
That's a great
thinking.
idea, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
good.
um,
Well, all we need is that paper signed and.
yeah, and I think everything's submitted, so you should
Okay.
be good once you have it.
It looks like you've got
So-
it really nailed down. It's great,
Thanks.
so.
We're excited. I think it'll be fun.
And also I wanted to let council know that the Triangle and Clark Summit that isn't decorated yet, the ABPA is going to, we were looking at a big blow up, but then there's issues with that, so we decide, they've come up with some other ideas. It's gonna be kind of like a family thing, a snowman and a snow woman and kids, so.
Yeah, we voted today to devote $200 to getting it decorated, and so we'll do something. We're just trying to look into decorations that will be sustainable and last a couple of years. We're just a little concerned about the inflatables, not making it out there all winter long, and trying to do something that would be winter themed more so than just Christmas or holiday, especially,
Yeah,
making sure we're representing all the families in the community.
yeah, so
Um,
I thought that's extremely generous on their part too.
So,
Thank
you. That's it. Any questions or any concerns or? We're good?
I
Okay.
think I basically have everything covered. Thank you. so
Okay.
much, Katie.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
probably the same.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one on our agenda is Bob Nagley.
Good evening, council. Bear with me, I'm still dealing with loss of voice and a cold that I had 2 weeks ago. It's just lingering, so it's raspy, it's here, it comes and goes, so if you can't hear me, just ask me to repeat it, please. A lot of new faces since the last time I've been in front of this council. So again, just to introduce myself, my name is Bob Negley. I've been the borough engineering representative with my own firm since 2010. Prior to that, I was with another firm. And we were the engineer for, I'd say since 2005 or 6 roughly. So let's say 15 to 17 years we've been working with the borough myself, more so directly. So historically speaking, we've been here quite a while, and I know council president was here for sure, but I'm trying to think, maybe Councilman Jenkins was here then in 2010. I don't know if anybody else.
Yep.
Well, you went and came back.
Yeah, they threw me out and then they dragged me back.
Right, so yes, Councilman Best was here, but again, some new faces, and I do know everybody else or most of the other people here between whether it's involvement in the community or professionally speaking, other ventures. So just want to introduce myself to those that aren't familiar with me and just give you a little background about how long we've been working with the borough. The reason I'm here tonight is back when borough approved our, call it a contract, if you will, it's basically an annual reappointment. We're an at-will employee. We could be terminated at any point, of course, but every year, or I think 2 years when you're organized, you can probably reapprove stuff like that. So in 2010, when I left the firm I was with, I had met with Virginia first and said, hey, look, I'm leaving the firm. They kind of, I had very little option due to some non-compete issues that they wanted me to follow through with, and I went out on my own. And then I offered them, I said, you can stay with them, they'll reassign somebody else to your account. Or if you're interested, I could give you a proposal for engineering services with my new firm. So did that, council voted to have me retained as the new firm and stay on with the borough. At that point, they asked, about fees, and I said, I would certainly match what the prior firm was doing for sure. I didn't really even know what they were at that point, and I believe it was Councilman Johnson asked for a discount. And he asked, can you do $5 an hour better than them? I said, certainly. I said, we'll do whatever. I said, I love working with the borough. I'm generally from around here. I live in Newton Township. So, I have a lot of roots here, and the community and our office has been in the borough. We're actually just across the line in the Clark's Green now, but we've been in the borough since 2012, basically. So we started with the borough and worked through that. And I believe, again, don't quote me on this, when Councilman Johnson asked for that, he said, will you guarantee that rate for 3 years? so that was 2010. Well, we haven't adjusted our rate or asked for a rate increase since 2010. Here we are 12 years later, and as kind of everybody knows, cost of everything has gone up. We're seeing it on our side of the business as well. Everything costs more, employees cost more, health insurance costs more. All of our insurance costs more, our materials cost more, our software costs more. So we're struggling with some of our older contracts to make them basically sustainable. So what I emailed Virginia about, probably about a month ago, I said, Virginia, would council consider a rate increase for 2023? She said, what did you have in mind? I said, well, I haven't really thought about it. I said, but I'm looking at our numbers, and basically, we're some of our numbers are a little askew, and we'd be looking to increase them. So she said, well, come to work session. Here we are tonight, and talk to council. I said, so we can do that. So basically, what I'd like to do is start you with our 2010 rate schedule, which I have, which is the same one, obviously, that we issued 12 years ago. And that was in about, I think, November of 2010. So it was basically 12 years ago, almost to the day. There we go. Thank you. You like one? Thanks. There's one for Virginia, although she's seen this 1,000 times. So basically, just to give you a little heads up, we bill the borough hourly, much like your other professionals do. So if we spend 2 hours looking at a stormwater issue for you, we bill you accordingly, depending on who that was. So, and I'll give you a quick rundown. Most of the rate you see in a billing standpoint is the professional engineer and the engineering technician. Okay, so engineering technician is Mike Fennick, if you're familiar with him. He's one of our office staff. He's a field tech, he's a designer, he does wears a lot of hats in our office. But he's the one that basically generates probably 75% of your billable hours. I back him up if there's something he's not capable or comfortable answering, or if Virginia's brings something to me, I'll deal with it directly. So again, it saves you a few bucks hourly on a monthly basis for us to have Mike do a lot of the heavy lifting rather than having a professional engineer do it. So that's one of the reasons we do that. And Mike's a quality employee and he's good at what he does and he loves working with municipalities and the community. So I like to let him do that because it's what he enjoys. So and he's good at it. So anyhow, that's where we are. So you see those two columns, or those two line items are basically what we bill at, is the engineering technician, the professional engineer. We don't do a lot of surveying for you unless need be for design. We try to limit that. And then that's basically the other columns. Since this came out, we've kind of eliminated the chief of surveys line item on there, because that's kind of an antiquated term. Professional land surveyor is usually your chief of surveys. Chief of surveys is an old crew term they used to use for like a survey crew out in the field. You'd have a chief of surveys. It's a little bit antiquated. So we took that out and basically just left the professional land surveyor in there. 2-man survey crew is pretty much the common entity. Occasionally, if you've got traffic situations, you need a third guy for safety, you pull a 3-man crew out there. But then again, we don't do a lot of surveying, but when we do, that's how it works. Clerical is just that. It's if we have somebody writing letters. I mean, most of the letters are technical letters, so Mike or I will write them most times. We don't have a real need for a lot of clerical at times. So, and expert witness per diem stuff is if you guys get into a situation where you need expert witness for lawsuits that are ongoing. I think, can't think of the last one that happened.
Grandview Street.
It was either that one or one after that, but it's been a while since we've been in court with the borough, which is good news.
That's
Right.
right. Yeah.
So again, that's where we were. So that's a 12-year rewind. And again, this is just basically one I pulled together in the last couple of days. And this is basically where we were looking to be. Again, we don't need to hash out numbers necessarily tonight if you don't want to. You can just digest it, talk about it.
Thank you.
And again, we are open for discussion, of course, as always, but basically what you see there is a $5 rate increase for the engineering technician and a $10 rate increase for the professional engineer. Again, if you look at it from a perspective of a 12-year rate increase, it's
Not good.
not bad. But like I said, I talked to Virginia, she said, well, are you thinking of one increase? I said, well, we hope to be with the borough for a lot longer. So I mean, if it means that we want to increase at a $5 increment for the professional engineer rate over 2 or 3 years, we're willing to work with you guys. I know it's budget season. I know, just like everybody else's budget, numbers got tighter this year, not better. Costs went up like everywhere else. And unfortunately, tax dollars don't seem to be moving that trending direction like everybody would have. We're facing the same thing in Newton Township. For the first time in a long time, our budget was squeezed a little bit, more so than we've ever seen. It's just a sign of the times, unfortunately.
Exactly.
Lead times on products, lead times on deliverables, everything's backed up. Everything costs more money. It's the unfortunate reality we're left with right now. So again, I showed you that. I'd be willing to talk about it, but a lot of the rates moved up incrementally, $5, maybe $10 increase. And again, that's basically over a 12-year span. Considering, other items to talk about, our rates are still quite reasonable. So I would just ask the council consider it, and we'd be happy to discuss it, or if you just come back to a meeting, we'll be more than happy to. Any questions?
No, I have none
But
whatsoever.
this is
Madam
part of the
President.
finance committee, no? Or do we do a decision now? Jerry,
Yeah, this is a
finance committee or?
work session,
Yeah.
we're voting today, aren't we? Or-
On the-
Yeah, we are, this is a voting meeting.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we do not have to vote on this tonight,
Mhm.
because we did want to discuss with the finance committee
Mhm.
and go over our numbers, see where we
We
stand.
could vote at it
financially.
next week.
Next week.
Well, and quite frankly, I wouldn't implement these till 2023 anyhow, so
Right.
you guys have time
Sure,
to discuss internally and even fundamentally speaking, let's say it was a January meeting, we would implement it at the next meeting,
exactly.
the next month, whenever, if it was
We should
passed.
be able to have it ready for this week, though.
I'm more than reasonable. I'm just giving you the reality of it. We would not, until you guys gave us the green light, we would not.
Right,
obviously,
exactly, yeah.
But I did want to come and talk to you about it.
Oh,
Madam President, if I could say something, I work with Bob quite a bit in his company. And Bob has always done an excellent job. We spent hours in different locations in the borough. And I cannot think of, other than the rain garden.
That was a hot topic.
Yeah, that
topic.
that was a hot topic.
Oh, yeah.
Still is for some people.
Bob has always done an excellent job.
I appreciate that.
And he knows the borough, he knows everything that, he's been here so long, he knows what was in the past and what to expect. So I just wanted to let council know that you've always done an excellent job.
I appreciate that. On,
I would definitely second that too. Yeah, we've always had good feedback. on that.
I do appreciate that. And again, the council president's been here as long as we have and longer. So, I've been working with some of you folks for quite a while. So I appreciate the vote of confidence. And not to change gears, obviously, if there's any other questions, I take them, but while I am here, because it's been a while since I've been at a meeting, if there's any other questions you guys have for me, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
Okay. Well, I think you've covered all the bases. We just have to.
Sure. No
grab the
project
finance
concerns or anything else?
committee and see what we can come up with.
We do have a couple grants that are still in the works, so you guys you'll be hearing from us again.
Good, good.
But, grant money's available, so keep chasing. Virginia's been on it, so,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
every time we come to her with a new one, she'll usually nod yes, and, with a couple clicks of the computer, we're submitting for more grant money, and, while it's there, go for it, because
Exactly.
we
It's
don't know
gonna
when
disappear.
they're gonna turn the faucet off eventually.
Yep.
And then everybody's back in that boat again, so.
Right. We don't get it, somebody else will.
That's right, never hurts to apply, worst they say is no.
Thanks for coming in, Bob, and a good presentation.
I appreciate it. If there's anything else, let me know, and you guys know how to reach me.
Okay, thank you
Bob.
very
Have a good
much.
night.
You too, thank you. Okay, the next one is our TAN bids. Does Virginia have our TAN bids for us for tonight or not?
That might be the next.
It says
She
both.
did-
We're
she
voting
didn't-
next
She
week.
didn't say anything tonight before she left about the can.
We didn't have any specific discussions before.
Okay.
It does say vote next week, so maybe we should put the note with
I'll
that.
make a
and the
motion, we
budget.
table that till the next meeting.
Well, it's already says here it's been next meeting, so,
So we'll just do it next meeting.
yeah.
Okay.
And okay, then review the budgets since the next meeting.
Yep, vote next week.
Griffin Pond Oil or Animal Shelter.
Should this also go before the finance committee?
Yeah, I don't know if we've ever given to Griffin Pond.
No, this is something new, Jerry.
That's what I was gonna ask. Has this
Yeah.
been done in the past or
No,
something new?
no.
Okay.
I think Griffin Pond is having just issues in general in terms of the
Yeah.
capacity, so this could be a new ask to municipalities
I
for
would think so too.
financial support in order to take animals for a municipality. I know it's being experienced in other municipalities as well. That they can't continue to take animals.
I think this should go before the finance committee.
Yeah,
I
think-
And then have them come back with a recommendation.
Right, we can do that, sure. Okay. Next item is the street light with Oakmont, and these are the residents that voted nay on it, so I believe that
I'm sorry, say that again, Jerry?
these people that responded, responded with a nay.
Oh,
so
okay.
this is the streetlight, the people were concerned about their kids being out, it's like for the middle school, the bus stop or something like that?
No, this is up at Oakmont.
Yeah, but that's what it was. Because it's dark in the morning, they said.
But that was
Yeah.
before the daylight savings.
For the
time.
school bus stop, it was the concern, yes.
Yeah.
So Virginia did send notification out to the neighbors and that, and the one was a question mark, but the one was yes, but the other, the majority was nay, so
The neighbors-
majority
They
would
don't
win
need
on
a
that.
new light, that's what the majority of the neighbors are saying.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
good.
Next item is sharing an ice block with the gathering place. We do an ice for the ice festival, we do a block. So we're gonna share it with the gathering place.
I'll make a motion that we do that.
They're nonprofit, I mean, that's.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and that's something we do every year, so we don't really even have to vote on that. This
You don't
is-
want to vote on it?
Well, it's not a voting item.
It's a bill that we need to pay though.
Is it in our, so you're saying it's usually in our budget? as a
Oh, yeah,
contribution? Okay.
yeah. But,
If it's something that's already budgeted, I don't think.
right.
Okay, I'll withdraw the motion.
Okay, thank you. And then the resolution 2022-13, the police pension withholding, that is gonna remain the same, so we don't have to vote on that. They just wanted to bring it to our attention, remember? he said-
Yeah, but I think we do, I think Officer Shedlock mentioned that they would, just to memorialize it, we had need to vote on a resolution.
We
It's
do
been
this-
decided by the pension board, but we just have something for the council acknowledges.
We do this every year,
Oh, yeah,
correct?
So,
Yes, I think this one does require.
yeah, so I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2020.
It's misnamed, it should be 22.
2023.
It says 23. but it
Yeah,
should be
should be
22.
2022-13.
I'll second that.
Okay, on the question, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, favors have it. Thank you. The next one is the Heart and Lung grievance vote.
Now this, and we're going to go into executive session with regards to this prior to a vote.
Right.
But at this point, I did just want to state that I did have the opportunity to speak to Eric Williams' attorney. He was aware of the fact that there was going to be a vote tonight and that
Right.
he could come if he chose, but he was
Sure.
not required to. So he chose not to be here this evening, but I just wanted everyone to know that.
So there's no public comment or any comments from anybody about this prior right now?
They're correct. He could have come if he wanted to. He called to confirm that it was not necessary.
Right.
Indicated that it was not necessary for him to be here. I know council received information and information as recently as today
Right.
that we could discuss in executive session prior to the vote.
Okay, well, we'll go into executive session now. And our executive session, of course, is Eric Williams, so.
Hold on one second. I'm just gonna take us off.
And we turn off the tape,
Mhm.
correct?
Okay.
And the tape also.
Yes.
Mhm.
See you later, Harry.
Yep.
I'm not sure which one you want to do, Mary Claire. You might want to go back into the Zoom app,
Okay.
to the ones on the right.
Oh, there we go.
And,
Leave
um,
and then we'll come back.
No,
Well, I think, go ahead and click got it. But then in the top left, where it says YouTube,
Mhm.
click that little drop and do stop live stream.
Oh, shoot.
That's okay. We just close that tab.
Hold on.
So, is it staff or does she open a new tab?
You can just go up to the middle top and click X on that. We might hear feedback if we leave that open. Go all the way up to the top in the tab window there. Keep
Here,
going up.
here.
The one to the right that's active, just X that one out.
Okay, hold on, sorry. It was a terrible glare.
The pressure's on.
I know you're trying to click and lean back, right?
Okay,
So
there we go.
Well, it's not even a wireless mouse. I was gonna say, put it on the table.
I can't.
it costs about $8. We should.
If
really-
any-
Yes.
If anyone else wants. Hold on, there we go.
Okay, now go back into the Zoom app.
Okay. Mhm.